Boom. Okay, welcome back. We're going to start calling this Road Rage with Gabe because can't nobody drive today and it's making me upset. All right, let's talk about this Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef. Now, before we start, I want to let y'all know I'm a huge Drake fan. Every year when Spotify, you know how Spotify do like they top 5, your top 5 thing, Drake's always in my top 5 every year. But I'd be ashamed sometimes because I was in like, this year I was in like his 0.05%. I was like, God damn, I listen to this nigga that much. But, and I don't really listen to Kendrick Lamar that much. I didn't even finish To Pimp a Butterfly, if I'm perfectly honest with you. Not because it wasn't good, but because the content of that album is so heavy. I felt like that's an album you really got to sit with. And I spend most of my time in the car. So obviously Drake makes music more for people like me who spend a lot of time driving, right? So I listen to a lot of Drake. But Drake got cooked. Drake got cooked in this battle. There's no way you can objectively say that Drake won this battle. It's not possible. It's not possible. He got washed. Drake got absolutely washed in this. And if you don't believe me, I was just listening to all, because I wanted to listen to all the diss tracks before I came on here. If you don't believe me that Drake got washed, go listen to how Drake was talking in Push-Ups and compare it with how Drake was talking in The Heart Part 6 and realize those two tracks are only 2 weeks apart. Push-Ups came out April 19th and The Heart Part 6 came out May 5th. That's only like 2.5 weeks apart. That nigga was daring Kendrick to drop in the Push-Ups. He was drop, like he was daring that nigga to drop. He was talking crazy to that nigga Kendrick in Push-Ups. And by the time you got to The Heart Part 6, bro literally said, man, I don't even want to dish you no more. Bro dead ass sound like, bro, he gave one of these My Mama Said I Gotta Go Inside ass diss track, bro. Listen to The Heart Part 6. That nigga sound like he said, like he came to Kendrick like, hey, my mama said I gotta go inside. Because I actually think that's what happened. I think Kendrick made that bop about Drake being a pedo or a PDF fouler. Is that what we're calling it now? Kendrick made that bop about Drake, you know, being into younger women. And I think he got a bunch of calls from corporate. I think all his advertisers called him up and say, yo, get the fuck away from this shit. Do you know how many people got money in Drake? Do y'all know how many people got money in Drake, bro? Drake is a commodity. And this is why he was never going to be able to beat Kendrick Lamar. This is why he was never going to be able to beat Kendrick Lamar. So first of all, let me talk to my other fellow Drake stans. We got to understand, a diss battle has nothing to do with who spills the most tea. That's not what a diss battle is about. That's what Drake changed the narrative to after the story of Adidon. Drake changed that narrative. Drake, from the story of Adidon on, disses have been about who got the biggest tea, because Drake tried to spin it like that was the only reason why Pusha T won. And if you don't really understand why Pusha T won, if you think that the reason Pusha T won that first battle against Drake is because of the kid, then you don't understand diss battles. You don't understand rap battles. You don't understand hip hop. That is not why Pusha T got Drake the fuck out of here. Pusha T got Drake the fuck out of there the same way that Kendrick did. Is that in a diss battle, we don't give a fuck what you say. We're not interested in if what you saying is accurate, false, or whatever. That's not what it's about. It's about who can bar the other nigga down. Who can bar him into submission. And in both situations, I don't care what anybody says, both Pusha T and Kendrick Lamar barred Drake into submission. The first person to go on defense in a rap battle loses. That's how it works. When you start the way you defend yourself in a rap battle is you go bar for bar. You don't try to make it salacious. And this is why Kendrick was going to win, because if Drake want to make this about like who got the best tea, if I'm correct, Kendrick Lamar owns his own record label now. Like, I think it's licensed through Interscope, but I think he owns the masters for whatever he puts out right now. I think. So what that means is that Kendrick Lamar could go to a level that Drake never could, because Drake is still tied to corporate money, which is what the whole beef was about, which is why Kendrick don't like this nigga, because he thinks he's fake. He thinks he's not real to the core of what hip-hop is, because hip-hop at its core is about being authentic. Hip-hop to its core is about being raw and real. And if it was going to make it about some tea, at the end of the day, Kendrick Lamar, not only because he's independent, I believe because he owns his own masters, but also because that it's just how he's always maintained himself throughout his career. He always came across as somebody authentic, someone real, somebody vulnerable. And that wasn't Drake. Like, yes, Drake got vulnerable, but Drake really only got vulnerable over heartbreak. Like, Drake only got vulnerable when it was about women. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so, if it was going to be about spilling tea, then there's more than enough information out there about Drake liking younger women. All you had to do was make a bop about this guy being a PDF fouler, and you weren't going to win, Drake. But that wasn't even why he won. Again, go listen to Push-Ups, and then go listen to the Heart Part 6, and look how differently this nigga Drake is talking. He not talking to Kendrick Lamar the same way on the Heart Part 6 than he is on Push-Ups. On Push-Ups, he was begging that nigga to drop. He was begging, drop. I want you to drop. I got something here you ain't ready for. That's how he was talking to Kendrick. He was calling him short. It was everything. After that, by the time he got to the Heart Part 6, he was like, see, nigga, you been through some stuff in your life. That's why you going this far. Like, I ain't never did nothing like that, but you been through. No, bro. No. He knew you were tied to corporate money, and he knew that, well, I don't think Drake can rap on the level that Kendrick can. First off, yeah, I don't think that Drake can rap on the same level as Kendrick Lamar. And what I mean by that is, if you go listen to Drake, here's a perfect example. A lot of people think that the reason why Kendrick Lamar was like, we don't want to hear you say nigga no more, is because Drake's biracial. And that's Drake's audience. That's Drake's core audience. That's how they interpret bars. Whereas if you are a true hip hop head, you would know that putting that bar at the end of a song like Euphoria, after Kendrick just dissected this man's character about who he is and how he doesn't represent the culture and how the culture doesn't mess with him and how he disrespects black women and all these things, right? It has nothing to do with Drake being biracial. Kendrick Lamar wasn't saying Drake can't say nigga because he's got a white mama. Kendrick Lamar is saying, Drake, you can't say nigga because if we take the word nigga out of your music, there is nothing black about it. There is nothing black about Drake's music other than the fact that he says the word nigga, which makes him feel inauthentic. And by the way, you don't have to be a nigga to make hip hop. There are plenty of non-niggas that make great hip hop. Eminem, Russ, Mac Miller, Logic. We could go on and on and on. And I don't necessarily listen to all those guys, so I just go by what y'all say. But you don't have to be black to be a rapper. Nor do you have to be a rapper, a black rapper that is about the streets or about killing. Obviously, J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar are perfect examples of that. If we want to be real, most of the biggest artists of our time have been non-gangster rappers, whether you're talking about Drake or Kanye or Kendrick or Cole. When you look at the top 5 MCs or the top 5 rappers from last decade, 4 of the 5, because I include Future in that as that 5th person, 4 of the 5 are non-street niggas. But the point is that Kendrick was making is, you not a nigga. Like, you not one of us. You just upplay your black features to make money off of us. You're basically a white person playing blackface, which is to me, that's why Pusha T won that battle. And that's why Kendrick won this battle, because they used their lyrical ability to dissect their opponent. They broke that nigga Drake down to his core. Drake tried to do that on the Heart Part 6, but he misinterpreted the Mother I'm Sober song, right? And then he threw in the flag as he was doing it. If he would have started with the Heart Part 6 and not backing up, we will be having a different conversation. I still think Kendrick would have came out on top because he just has more disrespectful songs. That's the other thing. You're in a diss battle. Diss is short for disrespect. We are here to disrespect you. And in both situations, Drake has gone, you got too disrespectful, so I'm out of this. You got 10 more in the chamber. No, nigga, this is a diss battle. That's what he's supposed to do. You supposed to get disrespectful. That's how you win a diss battle. You eloquently disrespect your opponent until they are forced to put their pen down. Either because the people watching are going, bro, it's over, you can't come back, or you run out of shit to say. Or you just know you can't compete with this guy, so you bow out. There's no way that you can't quit a diss battle and win. And this is the point. This is the point that Kendrick Lamar was making in all his diss track. The theme in all of Kendrick Lamar's diss track is, you not one of us. You are not hip hop. I hate being in the same conversation as you. Me and you aren't in the conversation. I'm a rapper. You're a guy who raps. I'm hip hop. You're a guy who makes money off hip hop. I don't give a fuck if this nigga has an 11-year-old kid. That's not the point. The point was his character. The point is that we know that that's the type of man that Drake is. The point is that Drake will always put himself above anything else, including his children. So if Drake does have an 11-year-old or a 4-year-old or a bunch of other kids out there that we don't know about, again, that in and of itself is not an issue. A bunch of celebrities have kids we don't know about. Nigga, I just found out that Will Ferrell lives like a couple hours away from me. I didn't even know. It was just in the paper. He was at, I guess, one of his kids' football games or something like that. But apparently Will Ferrell lives a couple hours away from me. Like, it's normal for celebrities to hide their kids. The issue is not Drake hid Adonis from the world or Drake is hiding an 11-year-old from the world. That's not the point. The point is Drake is the kind of man who will, even at the expense of his own children, find a way to promote himself, put himself first, and as a man, right? As a man, that's not what we do. Period. And if you a man out there and you the man of a household, you got a wife or a girl or some kids or whatever, you know exactly what we talking about. That's why it's disrespectful. It's not disrespectful because he's hiding the kid from the world. Nobody give a fuck about that nigga kid. It's like, are you being a man about this shit though? And that's why Drake can't rap at that level, because Drake doesn't rap at that level. And that's what a lot of people don't get. Like Drake, I gotta get a new fucking thing. I actually have a different one. I just need to put it on. I'll put it on for the next video. But Drake doesn't rap at that level, and Kendrick Lamar knew that. Kendrick Lamar at the end of the day knew he can't, at this level of the ability to dissect your opponent like this and just get flat out disrespectful. You're too much tied to corporate money. So you can't go as far as I can go. I can put a bunch of sex offender pins on your fucking house. You can't release a track like that. You can't do that. One, because you're not real enough to do that. And whether people like it or not, people in Drake's crew are tied to sex trafficking allegations, and Drake did pay somebody off for sexual harassment charges a few years ago. Like, the shit got legs. Now, here's what everybody else is missing, and this is why Kendrick cooked them. A lot of people don't do that. And if y'all want me to go into a really deep dive of this, let me know. What a lot of people don't understand is that Euphoria was a response to Family Matters. Go listen to Family Matters, and then go listen to Euphoria. Even though Euphoria came out first, he was already responding to Family Matters, bro. What did he say? He said, fabricating stories on the family front because you heard Mr. Morale. Because it's in Mr. Morale that he talks about the domestic issues in his relationships. And so he was already responding to Family Matters, and we know that part of Family Matters was done before Euphoria was made, because we heard part of it at the end of Push-Ups. And so the genius of Kendrick Lamar was he responded to Family Matters. Meet the Grams wasn't the response to Family Matters. Euphoria was the response to Family Matters. Meet the Grams and Not Like Us was just that nigga barring Drake up. That's the wild ass part about this shit. Like, this is a mollywhopping. He got mollywopped. And a lot of hip hop fans won't understand this, because like, there's a lot of people that just aren't a part of the culture. And it's a lot of Drake's type fans. They don't understand. In hip hop, you're not supposed to be able to come back from something like this, because in hip hop, authenticity is everything. Your pen is everything. When someone comes for your pen and you bow out, you're not supposed to be able to rap, and nobody's supposed to come to your shows after that. Because at its core, that's the talent of being a rapper. The talent of being a rapper is being able to use words over beats in such a way that nobody else can. So when someone comes along and they can use words over a beat in a way that you can't, we go, you can't say you better than him. So I don't care what but that's what Drake, coming from his white culture upbringing, his culture tells him that, hey, if it sells more, you're the best. If it makes more money, if more people like you, if more people agree with you, then you're the best. That's the cloth that Drake is cut from. Where Kendrick is cut from a cloth, it don't matter what the record sales say. Who was the dopest on the mic? Who was the dopest on who had the best bars? And Drake just got barred up. But let me know what y'all think. This video getting long. Surprisingly, nobody pissed me off today. But let me know what y'all think. If y'all want me to go into a deep dive, like a breakdown of this shit, especially like Euphoria, because Euphoria was absolutely, that was the response to Family Matters, even though it dropped before Family Matters. If y'all want me to go deep into that, let me know. As y'all know, I'm raising money for my baby girl. My youngest daughter, she is nonverbal autistic. She was abused by her special education teacher, according to the other teachers in the classroom. Right now, we're trying to file a lawsuit against them, and we're looking for support. We got to GoFundMe.com/mercyformaya. I'll try to leave a link down in the description if y'all want to help us out with that. Much appreciated. Like, subscribe. I'll be back when I see y'all. Peace.